digital innovation hubs are one-stop shops and help companies become more competitive using digital technologies. And they do this by providing the expertise and support that the region needs. So, for example, in the case of ICT Biochain, the hub brings together expertise from the biomass sector and from the technology sector. And this will facilitate growth within these two areas and integration of these two areas. Apart from this, however, if you want to develop any ideas or any developments that come out of this, you also need business expertise. So it's important to have somebody like this on your committee. So with all of these kind of expertise together, this forms the steering committee of the Digital Innovation Hub. And then this is led by a hub manager. And then it's also important to expand these expertise across the region. So once the core committee is formed, regional expertise can be expanded to include a wider network of expertise. And this can be a combination of, for example, pre-existing research organizations, cluster organizations, and even other digital innovation hubs in the region. And this wider network is called a competence center. From our experience, the steps to enabling a digital innovation hub is by keeping in continuous contact with your stakeholders. And this ensures that the services you're providing are relevant, and that's what the stakeholders need. And it also ensures that the region kind of knows what's available to them. So one of the ways of doing this is by organizing regular events. And it's important that these events actually inspire and teach your stakeholders. And for example, our most successful event was a demonstration day where we actually took people out to a forest, to a poultry farm, and also to biomass analysis labs. So this could actually show people what state-of-the-art technologies are being used within the region at scale. And yes, this turned out to be very, very good and very inspiring to our stakeholders. What we found is that it's important to have a clear set of goals as a digital innovation hub and to effectively communicate these goals to a wide audience. So what we found is that if you invite a pre-established cluster organization onto your steering committee or competence center, this will really help in the dissemination of your activities and services. So in terms of funding and financing, obviously if most of the group is kind of research organizations, it's important to have kind of external expertise in that sense. So there's always people who are applying for these sorts of funds and who know what funds are available. And we found that for this kind of innovation, including digital technologies and improving competitiveness of the biomass industry, there tends to always be funding available, and there are people applying for this funding. So if you try to get those kinds of people who are knowledgeable already onto your steering committee, then that can be really, really useful to provide advice for people, for your stakeholders who are trying to do the same thing.